MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning, Scotty Ray and Candace. To wind down your week, Friday?
It is Friday, and I'm so glad.
We got all kinds of chances of snow north of here. Maybe we'll get a flur. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a second, describe that to you. 2 accidents this morning. I have not gotten official word that they've cleaned this up in Marion, but it looks as though an 18-wheeler tried to do a U-turn underneath the bypass there where you go to the 4-lane past the stores, and it was hung on both sides of the interstate, 1 lane in each side blocked. Simmons, Mississippi Highway Patrol was there earlier.
But nobody was hurt.
No one was hurt, but did make a mess. Now, we did get a report, Highway 39, where you turn to go to the naval base. There's been a wreck. It overturned a car. I have not gotten word back if that's been cleaned up. That happened, I'm going to guess, 30 minutes or so ago. But it did turn a car over. Possible injuries involved there on Highway 39 North, right before it goes to the 2-lane there, where you turn to go to the naval base. So keep those folks in your prayers that everything's okay there.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully nobody was. I mean, everybody gets in a hurry in the mornings trying to get where they got to go.
Yeah. So big plans this weekend? What do you got going on?
I don't have big plans. I've got to work, just briefly work tomorrow. They have lead out, I think, this weekend, so I've got to do a girl's hair for that. And basically, not a real big.
Kind of a laid-back January weekend.
Hopefully, I'll get to see my grandbaby this weekend. I don't know.
I hate to worry everybody, but we've only got about roughly 16 days, 15 to 16 days left of deer season. I got to get busy.
Yeah.
I have not hurt the population whatsoever this year.
Yeah, we haven't been at all. We see them all the time in our field. Not all the time. I say all the time, but we've been seeing them lately. They've been coming out a little more lately.
Going, where's the corn? Hey, woman, bring me some corn. Mostly
does, which, we've seen a buck or two on our camera, but it comes in the middle of the night. You can't go hunting.
A lot of those old nocturnal fellows out there.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple from Winston County that were impressive. I saw one from Kemper County, a picture that was taken. And if you haven't visited Jay's site, Jay's Taxidermy, go there on Facebook and take a look at who's been brought in this week. And we'll give away another free mount Monday morning from all the entries from this week.
Yes.
So that's a pretty nifty thing.
I love seeing all the ones that people have bagged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hardly ever use that word bag.
I know.
But it's the politically correct word.
Yeah. But I love seeing the deer that people have killed. And,
it is. It's always fun there. All right, let's talk a little bit about weather and what's going to go on. There's a lot of scenarios, and it's still not final as to what's going to happen. Now, the only forecast that I've got close to us would be Starkville. Stark, Vegas has snow flurries in the forecast. Anywhere south of there is not mentioned in any forecast from the National Weather Service. Now, as we bring up this scenario, here's 2 different scenarios that was brought in. The people in Huntsville put this together. Now, if we were to get scenario 1, we would get some snow in our area. It all depends on where the warm air meets the cold air. Will it meet down here south of us in Mississippi, or will it meet here in East Mississippi and be west of us, northwest of us? Those are the 2 scenarios of what could happen, and that has not been determined. It may be tomorrow before all that's really laid out and they know for sure what's going to happen. Another example here, and this would be that scenario here where North Mississippi would get slammed. Now, as you look here through Middle Tennessee all the way up the East Coast, this is going to happen through here for sure. This is the uncertainty right here. Freezing rain, Atlanta, if you've got any friends and neighbors are intended on coming back through Atlanta on Sunday, you might want to pick up your pace because I think there's going to be ice in Atlanta on those freeways, and it'll be that'd be virtually a shutdown.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to our next thing here. This is what we get from the National Weather Service in Jackson about it. This is what they know will get snow, and this goes from Yazoo northward through Eupora, Greenwood, taking in the Mississippi Delta, on into Tennessee. Now, these areas here could possibly see snow flurries, but this is where accumulation of about 2 inches. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And again, let me stress, we are dealing with something called Mother Nature, and you just don't know till it happens.
That's right. You just got to wait and see. It's a wait and see thing.
Here's Alabama, what they know for sure that we'll get snow. And this is northern Alabama above Birmingham. Slippery roads is going to happen, 1/2 inch or maybe higher there of accumulation there. Again, that's northern Alabama. This got changed. This is North Mississippi here. This is going to change off and on. Tupelo, 1 inch just to the west of there. That kind of mimics the map I just showed you a moment ago. But all of that is subject to change. At one point yesterday, they had Tupelo at least 1 inch. It's unknown, but we do know that Jackson, Tennessee will get at least 4 inches of snow. That's all, and that's not really that far from here.
Yeah, I know. And then look at the 6-inch mark up there.
And this is Izzy, as Tina called it there. The Weather Channel has named the storm Izzy. All right, let's look at a few more scenarios. This has even changed as of this morning for our friends in the Nashville area. All of this is up to 7 inches now. From 4 to 7 is what they're expecting in the Nashville area. So if you were going to go through Birmingham up 65 for any reason, you might want to come back late Saturday night before all this comes in Sunday morning. It's going to be rain mixed with this. We're definitely getting rain in the Meridian area.
So what time are we expected to see
flurries?
Any?
It would be
any?
Sunday morning through lunchtime, somewhere along in there.
Okay.
And again, that could change and tweak a little bit. We'll be watching this very closely. Here's our forecast, and this is why it is not going to stick. Let me show you this. As we look at our forecast for Saturday night, high 58 Saturday, our low is only 35 Saturday night. We roll into Sunday morning with a high of 38 degrees for the entire day. So that tells us, you need to be around 28, 29 degrees for snow to accumulate, and we're just going to be too warm. So at best, we'll get some flurries and have a little fun with some flurries at best. There's no guarantee on that, but that's the way their temperatures are looking. Down to 29 on Sunday night, but don't look for it to wake up and it be just gobs of it here. It'll be north of us.
It's like a roller coaster looking at these temperatures.
It is.
I mean, it's like up and down.
38 Sunday, Wednesday 65.
It's crazy.
And you wonder why people are sick?
I know. I've started with a little
drainage or something.
It's aggravating, to say the least.
And when you get that little tickle in your throat, and we all get it, of that little, and you can't help it, and it's caused from the drainage in your throat.
Yes.
Now, and I brought this up earlier this morning. This round of, what do we call this thing? COVID.
Yeah.
I have seen,
Omicron.
I have seen all stages of this. I've got a friend who has had the vaccine who tells me he feels like death. I've got another friend who has never had the vaccine and feels like death. I've had 2 other friends who have had heart attacks with this and now have contracted COVID. And you mix that with a heart attack, is awful.
Yeah.
There's no explanation now. And flu. It is a lot of people now with just plain flu also. The best I can tell everybody is wash your hands, watch what you touch. I have no idea if a mask helps or not. If you feel comfortable wearing it, do so. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Anything that you can do to protect yourself. But let's remember back before we ever got COVID. If someone sneezes that's got a cold and you don't cover yourself, they cover their mouth, you normally get something from it.
Yeah.
So it's the same rules. We just don't know a lot about this stuff.
I know. And so, I don't know. I mean, when you got to get out and you got to go do it's not like you can. I mean, some people do stay home now.
Yes.
Some people, I have several customers that they don't. Now, they'll come get their hair done, but they're like, I don't go anywhere. I don't go shopping. I don't go, I do pick up at Walmart on my groceries.
And you hate to see people shut in over
I know.
this.
And I can't do that. I've got to be able to get out of my house. I mean, you can't just live in a bubble, in fear all your life.
Eventually, and this is just Scotty Ray talk, and I have no scientist or doctor to back this up. I would think eventually immune systems will combat this and overcome this with medicine and the other things that we have to offer.
Yeah.
And hopefully this thing will go away to where 5 years from now, Candace is not over here trying to put makeup on. She's going, I got the COVID.
But I thought about this morning.
Tell me.
When we start talking about the vaccine, I've quit even really talking about it with some of my clients because some people will get aggravated.
They do.
When you say, well, it's not stopping people from getting it, I'll have people say, oh, they should have got the vaccine, if somebody got it. And I want to say, well, they probably still would have got it anyway, even if they had the vaccine. But I don't even go there now. But if you think about, okay, if the vaccine's not helping you get it, it's not helping you give it. And then their other thing is say, oh, yeah, but it's, keeping people out of the hospital, possibly.
No, I'm told that.
Or if they're hospitalized, I don't understand why we don't put more into the therapeutics part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's medications that they're holding back and they're not allowing people to use, or there's certain medications that they're just not using that I've heard are effective. So my thing is, like, if you have to go into the hospital, then you got to worry about, then you're in whoever's hands that's treating you. You know what I'm saying?
You are.
Like, it's all about what they're using to treat you. But, and you never know. It's just fate.
We truly need to get another doctor to come back and talk to us
Right.
again and let us talk to them again. I'm going to see if I can line that up. I do know that, and y'all know this, I have to take my mom, every couple of months to a doctor. I'm very cautious when I go into a doctor's office because it's full of sick people.
Yeah.
And the arms on the chair, if you sit there and rub that and then touch your face, you're going to get sick. It always happens. So be on when you touch things, be on your best behavior of washing your hands. I think that is a huge cure with this thing. Not to say you can't get it other ways, but we will try to get us another doctor.
Yeah, I would love to listen to what a doctor has to say. I've been listening to a lot of doctors. That's where I get a lot of my information. I dig into it. I really listen to a lot of talk radio. They'll have doctors on giving scenarios. And there's a lot of drugs that people are using to combat this thing. And a lot of them are like rheumatoid arthritis drugs that are used in combination with other things. And so it's interesting when you really listen to it. And I know that there's a lot that's not being used that could be. So I don't know. I would love a doctor's opinion. So.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to one and see what they can tell us there. Yeah. I don't think there is most likely, and you can agree, and you're more than welcome to put your opinion on this on our feed here. I don't think there's one person that absolutely knows everything about this. I know. There's not, but we're getting better. And as this goes on, are we 2 years into this thing now?
Yeah, 2 years. And you hear a lot of people talking about the vitamins and the zinc and all this stuff. Well, the other day
that's called the COVID. What do they call it? Cocktail.
Yeah. And I was listening to a doctor the other day talk about it, and he said that the zinc keeps the virus from replicating in your cells, I guess. And without another drug, which I think they were using some rheumatoid arthritis drugs. I don't know. He was talking about like hydrochloroquine and other things, But he said that the zinc alone can't penetrate the cell wall because without the other, it's like oil and water. So that was interesting that I'd never heard of.
You wasn't watching an infomercial at 2 a.m. and trying to say you feel at the same time.
No, this was a very informative doctor who has been dealing with the COVID, stuff for a while, and he had success. He had been successful in treating his patients and stuff. So I don't know.
We just urge everybody to be careful with this stuff. Sandy White, good morning. Glad to see you. I hope your hair worked out good for you this morning, Sandy. Not saying that somebody said to me yesterday it wasn't on its best behavior. I'm not saying that at all there.
Yeah.
Good morning to you. Let's talk about our friends over at Maples One Stop Shop. Now, they've got 6 locations in town. They're hometown folks, and they try to take care of you there with the latest and most convenient things in convenience stores. And, of course, always trying to give you the lowest prices on gasoline that they can. They pass this along for you from all of their locations, including coffee machines. If you like the cold coffee, they've got that for you. And hot coffee lovers like us. You pour it in the cup and it smokes. I like that. And I stir it up, put me some creamer in there.
You might see me take a sip of mine in a minute.
See, there's nothing wrong with that.
Strangled over here.
But they offer the loyalty coffee program where your 6 cup of coffee is free. Just get your card punched by the cashier when you go in. Easy to do there. They're always going to be clean stores. There's plenty to see from Causeyville all the way up to Broadmoor. Yep, they're going to give you pizza at a great price there. They're also building the new cooking station there in Causeyville, getting ready to do some cooking. You'll love it. From bait shops to lottery tickets, they offer all of this at their locations. You'll like it. Go in and see them. From Bonita, Pine Springs, again, from Last Chance to Broadmoor, just see them. They'll help you out. They got so much to offer you. See them today. Save some money.
I was injured on my job, and I applied for Social Security, but I got denied.
I thought that money belonged to me if I got hurt on the job. I just want to know how to get my money.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Let me go to work for you and get the money you deserve.
Richard Schwartz took all that red tape, and now I'm approved and getting my benefits.
Call me, Richard Schwartz, and get the answers you need and the compensation you deserve. We know the law and we know how to help you.
Okay, let's go ahead and get this out in the open because somebody Monday is going to make the mistake. It's a 3-day weekend. Monday is a national holiday. You will not be able to get into a bank on Monday because you know what? They ain't going to be there. Courthouse, they're not going to be there. Martin Luther King Day will be celebrated on Monday. I'm not sure if that's still recognized in the state of Mississippi, if it's still Robert E. Lee Day or not. But regardless, MLK Day is Monday.
Right.
Most businesses will be shut down. So if you need to do business at the bank and get a little cash, you either need to do it today, and if your bank doesn't open tomorrow, today is your only option.
Yes.
So do that. We also know that West Hills Elementary School has gone virtual today, and that will last until January the 24th, and it's due to COVID. So that puts a...
Yeah, it's ramping up, really, in the schools and stuff.
And I have to ask this because and I'm not being ugly by any means, but what happens when it's a single parent and everything goes virtual and your child is not young enough to stay at home by themselves?
You just have to take off work. I know. I mean, it's
2
really...
weeks.
It is a bad position to be in, but I would think that employers would have to try to help, accommodate them. I mean, maybe they can work from home. I don't know.
I saw that.
But not
this
everybody
morning.
has a home computer. Not everybody has that.
Now I know that they are providing students with Wi-Fi and pads.
Yeah.
But that parent that works that job that you literally can't take off because you'll lose. What happens here?
It's a bad situation. It really is, and I feel for people in that situation. I mean, I really do. Because, I mean, if they don't have anybody else to keep the kids.
You're right.
So, I don't know what the answer is.
Angela said that, and I assume Meridian will have one, I'm just not aware of it, that in Quitman there will be a Martin Luther King Day parade in Quitman. If you know of one in the Meridian area, I just hadn't gotten an official email on that.
Okay.
I normally get those, and I maybe I overlooked it.
They were having that event. Well, it was Thursday, wasn't it, at the college?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a neat event.
That was yesterday. Yeah, so, if you happen to know that, pass that information along. If you've got one in your hometown, let us know so we can let everybody know about that. I saw this a minute ago. Mississippi, y'all are going to be shocked, is getting slammed in national news. Ooh, surprise, surprise. But this, excuse me, I got coughed there. Yep. I don't understand the story behind this of why. And what it says is Mississippi Middle School, and this is going to be up near the Tennessee line, right there at Memphis, in Mississippi, though. South Haven is where it is. They're being slammed for offering shapewear to young female students to help them with their negative body image. Why would a school send that out to young women?
And it says it was a letter sent home to the parents of teen and tween girls, educating them on the issue of negative body image.
Now, and this is like shapewear. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me scroll down and show you this picture.
Is that the letter? In the,
yeah, that's the letter, but I don't know that I can read that.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's pull this up on the screen there. That's the letter that was sent home.
Female body image is a product of personal and social and cultural experience and often emerges as a desire to adhere to an ideal body shape.
That, everything that we've taught our students and people is, not everybody looks the same.
I know. And I mean, you want people to eat healthy and stuff like that, but you don't shame them.
Yeah, and this is, I assume what they're talking about is the shapewear. This, like
people are just right.
That sucks your tummy in.
Like Spanx or something.
Yeah, they need that for men, by the way.
Now, us adult women, we wear stuff like this, sometimes if we need to. But I wouldn't think that encouraging teenagers.
Yeah.
I just think that's crazy. I mean, you should be teaching them to love who they are and. Eat healthy and stuff, but some people, it doesn't matter what you eat. I mean, it's just the way
what your husband told you this morning. No, I'm gonna love you no matter what.
But seriously,
Yes.
some people, it's just their genetic makeup. I mean, they're not.
Some folks are big bone.
Right. Some people are thin as a rail, and some people are a little more, have a little more weight on them. And I don't think you should make somebody feel like they got to wear something.
But that's South Haven, Mississippi,
crazy.
is where that come from.
Crazy.
It shocked me on that. Now, here's another story that I'm not sure I'm for. I don't know enough about it to be negative or positive about it. But Glock is coming out with a new pistol. And I've heard about this in the past. But what this does, in one site, you go, well, okay, but that's pretty good to where if it's not your handprint, when you pick it up, the gun will not fire. My first question is, how long does it take for your hand to recognize, the gun to recognize your hand? Mm-hmm. Because what if you had a glove on? What if you got into...
Yeah, excuse me, let me take off my glove.
Yeah, because it's not going to get you.
Yeah.
It becomes not an equalizer there. And then, for heaven's sake, if it was your husband's and you needed to use it, you couldn't.
Right.
Or your spouse's,
That's another one of
anybody's.
those not well thought out things, I think.
Yeah, I don't. And maybe somebody's done a lot of research on this and knows a lot more about it than I do. But that is coming out. Glock, it's the 9mm style Glock. I've got one of those. And it's going to be available this year. And then the experts say it can be hacked as well if it's stolen. But in one sense, it would if a gun was stolen, you go, well, nobody could use it.
Yeah.
Then that sounds good. But we'll watch this story and see if I learn more about it and see if anybody else knows more about it also. It's something to think on there. Now, this next one, I'm with this. We go to Illinois for this. Mm-hmm. And with there's good and bad, and there's evil in this world. Do you see it any other way?
No.
Schools, I know, have to be extremely careful. If they let this group do this, they have to let the opposite group do it. But
there's too much gray area in this world right now. It's either good or it's bad.
Now, this infuriates me. This is an elementary school because I'm not for it. But they let a school start a Satan club. Now, y'all did hear me right. A Satan club at a elementary school, and the preacher is protesting outside of the school. Mm-hmm. The school's response is, well, if we have a FCA, we've got to let them also have this. How do you feel about that? Where is the morals? Is that where I'm going with this, Candace?
Well, I mean, have you seen the criminals have more rights in this country? Now you're looking at like satanic stuff has the same rights as, it's like making everything okay that is bad. I mean, it's just, did you hear the interview, or it wasn't an interview, it was a guy commenting, it was a video. Somebody that tried to burn a house down that had 3 people in it, his girlfriend and 2 other people. He tried to burn it down. Well, he went to jail.
Right,
well,
he should have.
Okay. Well, then they reduced his jail time, and then they let him out. And he is on video saying, look, they let me out. I'm walking around. What's wrong with this picture? I mean, he's saying that, which is the truth. You wouldn't think the criminal would be saying that, but this is the truth. This is like they're letting the evil take over this world, and people are not. They're not scared that they're going to go to jail. They're not scared that they're.
No.
They're.
We have no repercussions.
No.
Here's the picture
Yeah.
of them protesting out in front of the school there. 10 Commandments have been drug out of our courthouses, and we stepped back and let it all happen.
I can remember years ago being in school, and we had this one guy who if you can imagine, was like he stood out amongst everybody else because he wore this leather jacket that had
like
satanic stuff.
Oh.
No, he had written satanic stuff on it, and everybody was, just like, really? They're allowed? I mean, and he was allowed to wear it to school, but it was just like a given that it was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. And now, I mean, it would probably be just normal you probably see it all the time because it's just such a normal thing, and people just but that's what's wrong with this world.
As Karina Jones said there, evil has taken over our country. And we go back to Paul Harvey's speech there. There's some things going on. Have mercy. But those are two of the things that caught my attention last night. I thought, regardless, it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Sometimes news stories get buried like that, and you don't know about it for years. And things like that slip up on you. So I thought I would pass it along.
It's sad to me, and I'm going to go on the subject of abortion because
that is sad.
It is a sad subject. And the thing is like people who are evil doing people, I mean, they have more rights and more chances than these babies that never get a chance. And people uphold that. Oh, you kill somebody, we're going to let you out, and, maybe you'll do better next time. And these kids, they have no rights whatsoever. They have no, chance at having a life. And they uphold the government is upholding people being able to do that. So, I don't know.
We hadn't had the Supreme Court.
Subject,
we hadn't had the Supreme Court rule on that yet.
They haven't. They haven't yet. I'm really anxious to see what the outcome of that's going to be.
Cindy Skipper said the old Satan there working overtime in our country, and he is. I have a bit of a sad news story, and we've brought up homeless people from time to time. This happened in Hammond, Louisiana. That's not that far from here. But if you don't have a place to live, you do look for a warm place to climb into during the middle of the night. And this just it gives me the willies to think about this because if he woke up, he knew what was happening and there was nothing he could do. A gentleman that was 42 years old climbed in the back of a garbage truck to stay warm on one of those 20-degree nights we had. The garbage truck takes off the next morning. The first stop, they throw the garbage in there and they compact it. He was killed.
Goodness.
Horrible, horrible way to go out of this world. And I don't know the answer to these things. I just bring them before you and let you hear that.
It's awful.
That's
awful.
a toughie there. Let's see here. Another thing that I saw, Baltimore's top prosecutor, she's a Democrat, Marilyn Mosby, and Kamala has said that she was always an honest woman, has always done the right thing, has been indicted on perjury charges for false claiming COVID relief on mortgage applications. It's called busted, is what that is. Here she is with Kamala. That's a picture of them. No comment from Kamala. We'll get into some more Kamala stories coming up here.
Could they be peas in a pod?
They could be. I brought this up earlier. How do we, if we don't have cops, police, however you want to word that. Now, some people say cops is not a great word to say, but they are. Police, monitoring our areas and taking care of America from one city to the next, it's going to drive prices up because of thieves. And I brought this up at 6:30 this morning. Amazon packages, they load them on trains, they ship out, they go on 18-wheelers. Here is the scene in L.A. Let me show you this. This is after thieves have robbed the train and emptied the boxes. No one can stay in business very long with this happening. The people that ordered these products want it. That's Los Angeles is where that is.
That's awful.
Is anybody shocked by this? And the police say we don't even have enough officers to go down to watch the trains. We can't do anything about it. Now, if that happens in Los Angeles, it's going to happen in Chicago. It's going to happen in Memphis. It's going to happen in Meridian, Mississippi. It will. So take it for what it's worth.
People, I worry about people taking matters into their own hands.
That could always be.
I mean, I really do because, people can only stand by so long and just watch stuff happen.
Yeah.
Until you say, I'm tired of it. If you can't do something, I'm going to do, and there's a lot of people out there who are like that. I mean, they love this country and they hate seeing it go down like this. And, what do you do? But if you don't step up, you teach people stand up for what you think's right. So I don't know.
So it's a very good question of where will this lead on down this. We need our police officers. I'm going to share this one morning. I went back and I looked it up. Paul Harvey's thing about the policeman of everything he is. Boy, that's a great story. I'm going to dig that up one morning and share that. That we need them. That is for sure. Now, the people that go, oh, well, there's some bad ones. There's bad apples in everything.
Yeah.
And as Paul mentioned in there, he said it's less bad cops than it is bad preachers. He even made that comment in there. So that's some thoughts there. We need our cops.
You know, talking about, I don't know why this popped in my head. It's a funny thing to me. But what was it Andy Griffith's show when he was like, he deputized, was it that? He deputized Gomer?
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe that's the answer. Maybe you need to have citizens arrest.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, you know, seriously, though.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to give a little more leadway to citizens.
That was fun. Citizens arrest. I could hear him saying it now.
Citizens arrest.
That was funny.
Oh, my goodness.
More coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace. Stay close. Bound to say something that you like here in a minute. Hang close. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings. Florida strawberries, 1 pound bag, only $3.99. A 4-pack of fresh tomatoes, only $1.99. Green bell peppers, 89 cents each. Hunt's tomato ketchup, a 20-ounce bottle, only $1. Nabisco Nilla wafers, 11-ounce box, 2 for $6. And certified Angus beef chuck roast, only $4.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
There'll be some cold nights that you might want to go visit Chuck or maybe have some gas delivered to your house. They can do all that for you. Talk to them down at Sanders Gas. They'll help you out there. Already 8:30.
I know.
Time is a-moving this morning.
It is.
The weekend is near us, and we do hope you enjoy yourself. And we'll have some cold nights as we went over the weather there, and we'll be watching it all throughout the weekend to let you know what's going on.
Make sure your pets are taken care of.
Yes.
Outside. If you need to get hay or bring them in.
Even if you got a billy goat, he gets cold also. There's a lot of people who have those. They make the mistake of seeing those little bitty critters that are really, really cute when they're little, and they get 3 or 4 of them, and then they grow up and they're not as cute as they were.
Yeah, when you walk out and they're standing on the hood of your car.
That's right.
Or they've eaten all your flowers. Because just so you know, if you go to get a goat and you don't know anything about goats, I do know that they will eat your flowers to the ground.
Yeah. It's kind of like meeting an old girl in a bar room at night and the lights are dim. She looks really good, and come daylight, you're...
Oh, good.
Y'all watch it. All right, let's go back in time. Let's go down memory lane here and take a look at some things that happened on this date, January the 14th, and see who has some birthdays and events that happened today. Who remembers this old girl? Faye Dunaway.
She looks a lot different.
1941 is when she was born. Were you a big fan of Faye?
Now, she's the one who played Mommy Dearest, wasn't she? Was she?
I believe so.
Yeah. No More Wire Hangers.
Yes. And Debbie, whatever movie that was, it was made in Mississippi, and I'm blank at the moment, she played the stand-in for Faye Dunaway, and that's how she got her start in a movie. It's real weird there. Tina says you got to have some beer goggles every once in a while. That was a great song, by the way. Also, 1956, this was the song, and I don't care who you are, you bound to know this song. Tutti Frutti was released on this date. Now, he was a little extravagant.
He was. He was funny. He was fun to watch.
Tutti Frutti. Oh, Trudy. I don't know any of the other words. That's the only part that I know about that. And then he'd do some woos.
Yeah.
He was good at it. So that happened. Let's see here what else went on this. Oh, this was a sad day. 1957. And I've seen him in a few movies, and I've never watched the entire Casablanca. But we would learn that in 1957 that Humphrey Bogart passed away at the age of 57 today. He was quite the actor.
Yes.
He was like a man's man at that time. Did you ever watch Casablanca?
I watched a portion of it.
Kind of like I did.
Yeah, I didn't really watch the older black and white movies a whole lot, but I'm sure they're good.
Anyway, you had to pick this place to walk in. Any bar in the world. I can't remember how that line goes. I'll have to go back and remember that. It was 1960 that they drafted him. They sent him off, and he would get a promotion in the military on this date. Elvis was promoted. He was a sergeant after today. They said he was real nice in there. Everybody that bunked with him in his...
Can you imagine if they put the draft into effect, who they might draft now that's stars?
They'd go to hollering. People like Jimmy Stewart that stepped up and went on in and done their part. Yeah. I've seen this guy from the Lip Sync show. Is the only reason I know who he is. LL Cool J has a birthday today. He was born in 68, so he's 54 today. Is that right? That'd be about right.
Yep, 50. Well, 67 is 54, so he'd be 55.
Okay.
I think 50. No, 53.
54?
53.
53, okay.
I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
Arithmetic
53, I think. But anyway, in his 50s. He was a big rap star.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any rap songs.
Rap wasn't my thing, but I do remember he was big back when I was probably... I was probably in junior high, maybe elementary. I don't know. So...
We say howdy to somebody there on Twitch. Morning there to you. It looks like Harris 5. Glad to have you there. 54, Tina Collins says.
Okay.
She done her arithmetic and she's all over it. Ann Hall says Elvis was great. Tina says she was born in 69, so that's how she knows. She's quick on that arithmetic there. And Tina said she also met Little Richard. Now, I have never met Little Richard or anybody quite like that. I would have liked to have met a few of those that come out of the 50s that were just...
Yeah.
Johnny Cash and those. I had his autograph one time. I might have lost it. Whoops. Also, he's been in several movies, and you mentioned one of these the other day. Jason Bateman is having a birthday. He was born in 69. A lot of birthdays today.
Yeah, he was in The Hangover.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in The Hangover? No, not The Hangover. Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
That was the name of that movie he was in. But that one that he was in with Melissa McCarthy, where she stole all of his identity or whatever.
And he was also in that Arrested Development. And then another one about real estate that I've heard was really good that was on Netflix, and I've never watched it, a real estate developer. And they say that is a really good show to watch.
He's a good actor, though. He really is.
Hadn't watched that. The woman that played his mother in Arrested Development was funny.
Okay.
Let's see here. This was big. I remember as a kid them promoting it, that it was coming on television. And it was way big. At that time, it was the biggest, largest audience in the entire world ever. Elvis, Aloha from Hawaii happened tonight. It was a live show. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
And that was still in 73. Elvis still had the Elvis look. It was before the weight gain. He was in his prime as he took to television tonight in 73.
Yeah, I was born in 74, so.
But boy, I remember seeing it. I was a little kid, but I remember seeing that, him riding around in that Bronco in the arena there, and then when he got off the plane, putting the
lei.
The lei. That's what I could remember.
Around his neck.
And it seems like there was over 1 million viewers for that.
I'm sure it was. It probably was. He was real popular.
But Elvis, that was the prime Elvis Presley, and that we all learned to love there. 1976, 3 years later, you would go home because Steve Austin was doing so well. They had to come up with a woman to go with him. The Bionic Woman debuted tonight on television, and that would be Wagner.
You know that sound that they used to play.
Now $6 million wouldn't replace one leg, I doubt.
Probably not.
But she had vision that she could see. I forget what she could jump pretty good too, couldn't she?
Yeah, they could, because she was bionic.
Well, what was the one where the guy rode around in the motorhome and it had this globe in the floor? Greatest American Hero, was that it? Where he wore the red leotards and he had blonde hair and he could fly?
Oh, yeah. It was. I think it was Greatest American Hero.
I believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Okay. See, we know a little bit. That was a pretty good show as a kid. Now, I might watch it today and think, well, that's corny. But as a kid, I liked it.
Yeah, and I do remember this next show.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
The plane.
That's it. This debuted in 1977. I'm not sure how many years that was on air, but boy, that become any fantasy that you wanted.
You know, when Kamala did, where was she at in France when she said the? Remember that she was saying the plan.
Oh yeah, and they started saying the plane.
That's who she reminded me of.
Yes,
the plan. I like it here as what was his name? The little dude.
I just called him
the plan.
If you hadn't said that, I could have told you his name. But that was a pretty good show to watch those interesting scenarios that they would do there. Always seemed real as a kid.
Tattoo. Wasn't that his name?
That's it.
Tattoo.
Come here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there you go. That was quite the show. 1948, you would see this guy in Rocky and several other movies. He was big. Carl Weathers celebrates a birthday today. And, of course, that's the Rocky outfit with the red, white, and blue trunks that Rocky would borrow from him and use later as he fought the Russian guy.
Didn't he die in one of the movies?
Yes, he was hit by one of them and it killed him. And, of course, it made Rocky mad and he had to go after him.
I did like the Rocky movies. I did like that.
He wrote all of that, Sylvester Stallone. Walked around with that script for Rocky, and everybody told him that it was worthless, no good, lost everything he had, and then had somebody finally grab it, and, well, it made him what he is. Yeah. His house is up for sale, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw one of those in L.A. Huge. Let's see what else is happening. Let's see. Number one song in 1995. Do you remember this?
I do remember this.
Not a Moment Too Soon. Oh, Tim McGraw, who you would think Faith could buy him a shirt that would fit him. I mean, that's too tight. I mean, it's too small.
That is a little snug.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Is he now? Am I right? But somebody said the other day he's totally against like the gun laws. I mean, like gun stuff.
He's kind of liberal. Now, I haven't looked into all of his policies, but he's always talked about running for office. He hasn't yet. But when
he said he was against like
I've heard
the Second Amendment and stuff. So I wonder how he feels toting that gun all the time on this show.
He's making money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that say that, and then they jump in a movie when they make a lot of money. And and Tina claims that shirt fits him just fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tina.
I don't know.
Let's see. Boy, I really like this song. It was one of the best that ever come from George. Who remembers this? 2006, and it became his 40th number one. Now he's over 50 now, but that was his 40th number one. She Let Herself Go.
That was good.
On a singles cruise. I like
really
that.
Good.
Yeah, George Strait there. Also, you'll remember this guy by his picture. Anybody remember watching Die Hard? The bad guy in Die Hard, the original.
Okay, I knew he looked familiar.
That's
it's just
him.
A different angle. If I saw him like
face to
forward,
face.
you know. Yeah.
Alan Rickman passed away on this date back in 2016. He was the original bad guy. You know, at the end of the one where he lets go of the chair and he falls. That's him.
Now, didn't he have like an accent
he
or
did.
something? I thought so.
Now, in real life, I don't know, but he did in the TV show. But that's a trip down looking at a few things that happened on this date in history. Maybe you remember a few of those. I hope you did. It's fun to look at that stuff. I enjoy it every day. As we look at the possibility of you maybe needing a new home, have you visited our friends at Snowden Company? Well, you can do this pretty simple, just by walking over to your phone or your computer and logging in. There you go. Leslie, Donna, Amanda, they're all the top sellers there. You chose them in the Meridian Star Choice Awards, and we've added Elizabeth to this. And as I said, find your dream home. You can go online to snowdenrealestate.com and take a look at any home that's being offered. And of course, they can list your home there. They've got great negotiating skills, precise attention to detail that will sell your home. They've done this a time or two. They know. They'll help you there. They'll do all this paperwork, and you can browse through all the different homes that are up for sale. They've got a lot going on there, from small, large. Maybe you need a pond. Maybe you need a double wide with some land, or maybe just an acre. They do all of this for you. They're open till 5 o'clock today. Now, tomorrow they're going to be closed. You can get an appointment to set up for Saturday, but not open on Sunday at all. They're going to go to church, as we all do. See them at Snowden Company. They're really good folks, honest folks, live right here in Lauderdale County, and they'll take care of you from Lauderdale all the way to Jackson if you're needing a home. See them. They'll fix you up with the right home. So many people choose them, and this is Amanda. She heads it all up. See her there on Poplar Springs Drive. 453-3937 is the number to call. They'll help you.
I was returning from a visit with my family when my car was completely destroyed by a truck that ran a red light. I was unable to work and I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
And welcome back, Scotty Ray and Candace. And I did know this. Connie Johns posted it. I did, but I forgot.
Okay.
From The Lion King, Alan Rickman was the voice of Scar.
Yeah, now you do when you think about it. Yeah. He had that real mean.
Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna get you kind of voice.
He was he played the part very well, but
Yeah.
I did not realize that man had passed away. So there you go. Kamala in the news is trying to tell us that and when somebody makes a statement is really under their skin. Her headline is that she's not worried about the 24 ticket. She's worried about what's going on right now.
You know, I watched this little interview.
How did it go?
I didn't watch it in its entirety, but I did watch that portion of it where she said that she wasn't concerned about the high-class gossip stuff. But you could tell that she was kind of aggravated, you know, and you could tell that she didn't really know what she was talking about when he asked her what their plan was, and her answer was like, "We're going to keep doing what we've been doing, like every day, the way we've been doing it." It was kind of like somebody referred to it as like like Saturday Night Live skit, like
Gone
it was
wrong.
something, yeah. But and then I heard another referral. It was like somebody trying to give a book report on a book they've never read before, because it's like she does not. Her staff has even said that she does not look over her stuff that she's going to be asked questions about. She didn't even look over it. She didn't look over the things that are going on.
This ties in right with that. She claimed during that same interview that they were going to have out this week the COVID-free test. The White House had to come back behind her and go, no, made a little mistake there. To be at least next week before that's done. So boo-boos. And you have to really think, what is she thinking about this Hillary thing? The more and more you hear, Hillary may be their choice for 24.
Well, the guy asked her, and I cannot remember who it was. If y'all saw that interview, let me know who they said. The guy said, he said, but have you heard the talk about Hillary? And it was some other woman that they were talking about putting with Hillary to run.
Wasn't Stacey Abrams, was it, from Atlanta?
I don't think it was, no. I'm trying to remember who it was, but yeah. It was,
all analysts say that this would be a flop. It would be a threequel flop.
Cheney.
Oh,
with Hillary Clinton.
The Republican
Dick
girl?
Cheney's daughter.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That really would show her colors. Yowza. Cheney, that's
Which
it,
I
Bill.
thought Cheney was Republican and Hillary Clinton's Democrat. But
just like her daddy, he claimed to be Republican, but he really wasn't. He was just hiding there. So we'll see where all that goes. Let's see some other stories that are going on here. Microsoft, this is spooky. They're coming up with software to where you type a phrase, it will put in and suggest a politically correct wording instead of what you typed. Expect that sometime in 22. Microsoft is going to do it. Now, you don't have to accept it, but how many times have I typed something and I had boo-boos on here?
Oh, yeah.
To where I don't look back at it and it just auto-corrects it.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Right. And have you ever sent a text message where you were like texting something and it put something else in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to say, you are so beautiful, and it ends up, you ugly, and you go, I really didn't say that, and you can't get yourself out of it.
And with my like country accent, southern accent, whatever you want to call it, I know it's hard for y'all to tell that I got one, but anyway, talking to text in my phone, you would not believe some of the stuff it puts, because I can make a one-syllable word into a two-syllable word. But
we all do that. And especially if you've got one of those Garmins that you're talking to in your car, it really does not know the Southern Dictionary at all. At all.
Yes.
I need to hear how it says sugarlock. What their terminology of that. We learned today that in California that Robert F. Kennedy's assassin will stay in jail. You know, there was talk that he may be let out of jail, but he's not. They say that he is still poses a threat to the public, and he will remain his final days in prison, which is good news. This is what he looks like now.
I'm surprised they don't let him out.
There was one family member that was in favor of him getting out, which was shocking. But I guess they've put some distance in between to it. This is what he looked like when he went to jail many years ago. He's aged a little bit there.
Yes.
So that's a headline across America. And I think that's a good thing that he stays there. It makes people think they can get away with it. Have you seen this headline about the White House and Clinton?
No.
When Jeffrey showed up to the White House to visit Bill, he brought along 8 young ladies. Anybody else thinking here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bill. We all know how that story probably ended. Joe has been struck with, I would say, stingers, with bees. He's been shot down left and right over the last couple of days. This bill that he's been trying to get through that would change the voting rights, Joe from West Virginia says, I'm not doing it. I cannot do this. It would weaken and tear down the only fence against the tyranny of the majority. Says he's not voting for it.
Well, I am glad he's not. I'm glad
And he's Democrat.
I'm glad he's standing his ground.
That is what saved this. Now, as we go into this also, as we found out yesterday, even bigger news, as the Supreme Court will not let Joe put his mandate on COVID to private companies. Now, it is going to affect the medical field. They stood by that and said the medical have to abide by that. But regular businesses with employees of 100 or greater do not have to abide by this. This was a huge blow to his presidency, however you want to slice it, or do it, or say it. It happened.
I'm glad that they did rule the way they did, but I wish that they would have ruled a little different with the medical field, because I feel like it's not going to stop people from. I mean, they've lost so many medical workers.
It's very few working.
And I don't know.
Biden urges states to do the right thing. It was a 6-3 vote. If you didn't get to see that yesterday. But
now, I saw where there's one company, I'm trying to remember which company it was, City something, which is going to still uphold what
he asked companies to.
They're going to still get rid of people if they don't get the vaccine.
But my question with that, with the Supreme Court ruling on that, how could they go to court and justify and win? Are they hoping that the employees don't take them to court?
I feel like we're going to see, and I was talking to my husband about it. I mean, I wonder how many lawsuits you're going to see come about, which they haven't like totally nicked it. It's in a stay position. So it's just like a put on hold type thing, I think is what, they can't do anything right now. The mandate can't be enforced right now. They put a stay on it. But so do they later on come back and try it again?
Good question.
I don't know.
Lindsey Graham is talking, and he tells Mitch McConnell, if you don't back Trump in the 24 election, I'm not backing you. Pretty strong words. Everybody assumes that, and it hasn't been announced yet, that Trump will most likely be the candidate for the Republicans. But Lindsey Graham going out there on that limb going, you do it or we don't back you. That's a few of the things happening in headlines this morning.
Somebody put on there Trump DeSantis, or DeSantis, whichever sounds good. Which it does have a good ring to it.
I do think that is a high possibility. That really is.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll keep you close on that as that nears. As we turn to Chet's Paint and Body. Anybody visited Chet lately? They like to see you down there, especially if you've had somebody bump into your car, like a deer or cow, anything like that.
Horse.
The wildlife has been, bringing a lot of folks to Chet's. Why do people keep coming back? Honesty. If Chet tells you something, that's the way it is. Your car is color matched. This is one of the most important things. Have you ever gotten your car back and it sits out in the parking lot and you're walking to it out of like Sam's and you see it way across the parking lot and it's 2 different colors?
Yeah.
Not going to happen at Chet's. They color match. They know exactly what they're doing there. As they prepare your car, take out all those little dings and dents there to put it back the way it was. Makes it look great. He's done several for me there. Chet's Paint and Body. You'll find him there at Highway 495 in the curb. You can't miss it. From Mustang to trucks, from front end to these aluminum beds that are fixed. Go by, and honesty is what has kept them in business all these years. Repeat business. Become one of the people that do business with him. You'll be glad you did. 9888 Highway 495. Call Chet. Let him process that insurance work for you. Take care of all that rental car stuff for you. See him. Chet's Paint and Body, where honesty is number one.
I'm Janet from Jackson, Mississippi, and it took one call, that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. He got me $377,250.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
There's nothing like escaping the law and thinking you got away with it until you get sick. And that's how this story of this next guy is an American fugitive. He's 34 years old. He escaped the United States to Scotland, but he got COVID.
Oh, goodness.
Had to go to the hospital, and, well, they done a little fingerprinting there, and whoops, he has been found. As soon as he recovers, he'll be coming on back to the U.S. to face his little crimes there.
That would be bad.
I would not be a good criminal on the lam because I talk too much. I like to have people around me, and I think if you're a fugitive, don't you have to be kind of like standoffish and not talk to anybody?
I guess. I don't know. I guess they would have to be a wonderful liar, obviously. But, some people can lie and get away with it, and then others just are awful. It's like, why do you even try? Like, why do you even try to lie? Because, like, I can see, your ears turning red.
Yeah.
Or you don't look somebody straight in the eye.
It's kind of like playing poker. People's tendencies watching all of that.
Yeah.
New York City, and as we talk about all this, the lack of cops and everything that goes on, it was a guy that was going down the street, saw a homeless guy lying on the sidewalk without a jacket, freezing. He takes his coat off, he places it on the homeless guy, and the homeless guy attacks him.
Oh, Lord.
It was awful. He was beat. They have arrested the homeless guy, but guess what? He's going to get out because there's no laws to keep him in jail. It was a in and out system there.
I feel for the guy that was just trying to be a good Samaritan.
He was an elderly gentleman that, and this is the third assault this guy has done in 3 weeks that he's attacked people.
Maybe he's not mentally stable, obviously, maybe.
I don't know, but there's nothing to back the police up. And what happens when the police finally get that attitude when they're in their car? They go, why am I even going to get out and go do anything with this? I'm just going to keep driving. Because they get out as soon as they put them in. That has to, at some point, go through a police officer that is in this era where nothing is done. That has to cross their mind.
I just don't understand why people think that this way of doing things is so much greater than what we used to have. I mean, why would people think that's okay? That's a better plan. I don't know.
Here's a story here. There's nothing like getting your mama, because your mama's always going to be on your side. There was a guy, and I don't know exactly what ghosting means, but he was making untraceable ghost guns. And I assume that means that there's no serial numbers on them. And his mother was smuggling them to the Dominican Republic for her son. She's been caught, and, well, now he's going to jail, too. They may get to have jail cells. Maybe she'll still make his sandwiches for him.
Maybe so. I don't know.
But getting your mama in jail, that's bad. Let's see here. A mother of three reveals, and she's been catching it because she admits that her and her husband have a better relationship because they sleep down the hall in separate rooms. She gets more sleep.
Maybe he snores.
That could be it.
Snores.
I think this is a bigger thing that happens in the United States than people admit. Apparently, his friends have been ragging him since the article came out about it. But she says they still meet up every once in a while for, well,
friendship.
Little date nights. We'll say it that way.
Yeah, but my grandmother and granddaddy slept in separate beds later on in their years because my grandfather snored so bad.
Right.
She said, I can't get a bit of sleep. But anyway.
And some people just don't want anybody near them when they sleep. It's like, don't touch me. Get up. Get.
Yeah.
We all know that. But that's one of the stories that are out there this morning. Take it for what it's worth. Remember the guy that I mentioned that got the heart transplant from the pig? Turns out, well, he stabbed somebody in 1988. Now they're telling the whole story on the guy. He was sentenced to 10 years in jail.
Oh.
But he's reformed now, they say. We wish him luck with his recovery. He's still doing good
Yeah.
But let something happen to you, you get a free pig heart, and they're going to tell everything that happened. It's kind of like Merle Haggard. Now I'm a Brandon man.
Yeah.
They're telling all his secrets there.
I want to say Bill Reinhardt, he said he's so thankful he got a cancer-free diagnosis yesterday.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
That
so
is.
glad. That is such a blessing.
Yeah. So everybody, let's lift Bill up there in
Yes.
prayers.
Yes.
We're coming up on our end of our show. The weekend is coming. Don't forget, a 3-day weekend. I'll be here all during the weekend to watch Snowmageddon. Is that the word for it? Easy.
Snowmageddon.
Yeah. Should it happen, we'll be here to tell you all about it and how close it is to us. Expect a flur, but anything sticking north of us. Let's say thank you.
Thank y'all, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by